Hello and welcome to a brief demo of SAP Cloud for Customer for the chemical industry, built by SAP partner Qnovate. My name is Frank Kochendörfer. I work for Qnovate, an SAP industry solution development and system integration partner. The demo will provide you a brief overview of Qnovate's industry extension and solution integration built for the chemical industry. Today I'm playing the role of a chemical sales representative. What you see in front of you is SAP Cloud for Sales, built with a new user interface called Fiori. And when I open my application, I see basic information such as my account lists, I see sales, actual versus forecast, I see my pipeline, and also I see my today's activities. And since I'm visiting some customers today, let's look at today's activities. So I see that I have a couple of customer calls coming up today, and my next one is to visit a new customer for me. The customer is National Plastics, and on the map I see the location of all the customers I'm going to visit today. So this demonstrates the native MS Outlook integration into Cloud for Sales, also map integration capabilities which are built in the standard product. So let's look at National Plastics. I'm not familiar with that customer since it's my first visit. You see the overview screen. I can click on details and I get an account overview screen here. So you see, for instance, contacts, telephone numbers, some recent orders, sample opportunities, etc. So that's enough for now. I go back and I need to find out how you get there. So let's click on Get Directions, and I see how I get from my current location to National Plastics head office. Again, native built integration of a map application on your mobile device. So now let's switch gears. I visit my customer. I'm in front of my customer. I want to introduce a new product. It's part of a sales campaign, and the product is called TCC 700 Stabilizer. So we are discussing this product with the customer, and the customer would like to get more information on it. So let's click on this product. And let's go to what we call SAP Mobile Documents. This is an integration which has been built by Qnovate on top of SAP Cloud for Sales in order to provide document provisioning to the mobile sales force. So when I click on the button, I get a contextual content here, all the documents relevant to TCC 700. You see a COA, certificate of analysis, a safety data sheet, and on the bottom a technical data sheet. So that data sheet is something we'd like to share with our customers. So let's pull it up. And I see that technical data sheet for my product. We're discussing this with our customer Bill, and Bill asks whether he can get a copy of this document. So we go to Actions, Send, into our email application. Again, native integration of the mobile device email application. So we are entering Bill's email address and just click on Send and can send out this document to Bill. What is possible with this integration is also to send very large documents. Think of videos which could easily consist of dozens of megabytes. You can send those documents to customers, for instance, because all you do is you send actually a link, not the document. SAP Mobile Documents accesses corporate repositories, such as SharePoint, for instance, OpenText, Documentum, or any other DMS system your corporation might be using. It is not replacing those systems. It sits on top and pulls content from these DMS systems. Another nice capability of SAP Mobile Documents is push capability. You see on the left-hand side the push marker. So when I click on it, These are documents which are pushed to me as a sales rep. For instance, a sales list. Let's assume that the back end or the back office uploaded a new price list this morning, and I want to make sure that I'm accessing the latest pricing. So I access this price list, and which is pushed out to me, and I'm sure that I always have the latest pricing. Same with, for instance, legal documents. You see here, for instance, contract guidelines or an NDA agreement. You always want to make sure that you're accessing the latest document in this case. So let's move back to our front screen. And after that discussion, the customer really would like to evaluate that product. In chemicals, in order to sell a product, you have to provide samples typically. Sample provisioning, sample management is a very important part of the sales process. So what we are doing now is we are triggering a sample order for our customer, and that in turn creates a sample order in the backend system. So let's see how this works. We click on sample opportunity on the upper right-hand side, and the screen opens where we can enter some basic information. For instance, what the opportunity is about. So let's put in stabilizer. Okay, stabilizer opportunity for new business. And we hit save. Now you see the sample opportunity, which is at this point residing in Cloud for Sales. You see that the product information is empty, so let's assign a product to this sample opportunity. We search for product, and this list here provides us a list of all sample products in the system. You see on approximately in the middle of the screen a flag for sample products. You can untag that and get a list of all the products. You can, for instance, by doing so, you can order a truckload of product, but that would require authorization. So that would trigger an authorization flow to managers, and only with that authorization, the actual sample order would go through. So for the moment, we'll just order regular material. So let's click on TCC 700 stabilizer and add it to the sample opportunity. So now you see that the sample opportunity contains a product. Still, we haven't triggered the sample order. So let's do that. On the bottom, you see 3 dots. When you click on them, it says create sample order. So we hit it, and you see the back-end confirmation. That was the confirmation that the sample order has been received and being executed by the back-end, by the ECC system. So we can go on top, you see a tab, Sales Documents. So when I hit this, you see the newly created sales order request. Let's pull up this document. This is a sales document for our sample. And when I scroll down, you see that it comes with $0 as a value. And this is correct because the way the system here set up that samples are free of charge. You can assign any price to it. You can also do customer ABC analysis. So for instance, your A customers would never pay for samples, whereas B or C customers could pay a fixed amount for a sample in order to prevent recurring sample orders without actual product orders. So let's move back to our start screen. And at this point, we'd also be interested in how we are doing on samples. Sample analytics, also a very important part of the sample management process. Why? Well, many of the chemical companies are sending 10,000s of samples per year. And if you consider the actual cost of a sample to be approximately somewhere between $80 and $100, according to industry experts, that number can easily add up. So typically management would like to know, why are we spending so much money for samples? So let's go to sample analytics. So here we have the screen, an analytics screen, which shows us samples year over year and current year to date. That's a high level overview, and by swiping this high level overview, we can go to a more detailed analysis. So, for instance, we see samples by division, samples by product group, samples by product, or samples by customer. So because of this campaign, we are interested in sample by product. So let's click this. And we get the actual number per product on this screen. So our campaign TCC 700 goes very well. We already sent out 752 samples in the course of that campaign, and I'd like to share that information. So I click the pencil on the top and I mark the information I would like to highlight and hit the share button to share it with some of the colleagues which are involved in this campaign for TCC 700. So I can just click share, and you see that a screenshot was taken and the respective colleagues are in the distribution list, and I can simply send out that email with my new information. So we move back to the start screen. So as a sales representative, when I visit my customer, I want to make this time as most effective as possible. So why don't we use the time to do some joint forecasting and planning with the account? So to do so, I'll click on my accounts and I go to the customer overview screen. I select National Plastics, and here I see the customer overview screen. So you'll see a tab for sales forecast in the top menu. If we hit sales forecast, we get the sales forecast planning sheet. And what this shows me is, on the left-hand side, a list of all historic sales for National Plastics. You can scroll up and down the list. The next columns show me historic sales and an aggregated sales for 2015 in terms of quantities. And the next columns are statistical forecast numbers, which provide me a forecast to the best of the system's knowledge, so to speak, using some mathematical algorithms to determine forecasts. On the right-hand side, you see quantities sorted by size, so most important products on top. And these are probably the products I want to discuss with my customer. So we are discussing forecasting numbers, and my customer is telling me, well, you know what? These numbers look okay, but for the second product, the polyester, probably we need a slightly higher demand, whereas we lost some business for another product. So I can edit those numbers, the statistical forecast numbers, hit save, and what that does is it shoots all the changed forecast numbers back from Cloud for Sales into IBP, and there it assembles the forecast numbers across all the customers, across all the regions. So this integration allows me as a sales rep to do my forecasting right in Cloud for Sales. I do not have to log out, log into IBP, use a somewhat complex system, which is probably not geared for me, but more for operation planners. And I can change my numbers in a very simple way, in a contextual way, don't have to leave my application, and can provide, again, the demand planners with the forecast for National Plastics. So this concludes the brief overview on the extensions, the Qnovate extensions for Cloud for Sales for the chemical industry. We saw a full end-to-end sample management process, including sample ordering, sample analytics. It comes also with sample tracking and tracing, which we have not shown in the demo. We've seen Mobile Documents integration, which provides documentation for products or any other documents on mobile devices. And lastly, we have seen a preview of upcoming functionality, namely SAP IBP or SNOP integration, which allows for an easy way of sales forecasting within SAP Cloud for Sales. This concludes the short demo. Thank you for your attention.